Hey everybody, welcome back to ChaatNChat. My name is Miguel.
And I'm Kayla.
And we are watching Bana Di Jodi. This is part 3. So if you haven't watched part 1 or part 2, you can find the playlist in the description in the link below. This was our weekly poll winner, so if you voted, thank you so very much. And if you didn't get to vote and you want to vote for the next one, be sure and click to the Patreon link below in the description, and you can go and vote for next week's winner. And if you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing, sharing, and like button para tapamaro.
Well, you could sit by her. I don't know.
That would be a start, huh?
Could be.
As opposed to talking and past the flowers and the fruit and
Can you even
a whole
see her
table.
all the way over there?
Hey, Mr. Raj, शादीशुदा?
See, now I just feel like he's making her feel guilty. You're the one who's messing with her. No one normal would have behaved like that. He has overcomplicated things. That archery is
Just
something
walk through
else.
these squatting sumo
Come on
wrestlers.
through.
Oh, jeez.
They're not gonna make him take on a sumo wrestler, are they? You have to make sure she's watching.
Uh-oh, she's thinking about Raj.
Raji, your name please?
Surinder Sani.
Please put your hand.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
Raji,
Are you sure?
हाँ तो फिर देर किस बात की है? चल मेरे गुरु.
It is so interesting the shells we put ourselves in.
Well, he's wanting to...
Well, it's just that, you know, he is Raj. He doesn't have to be this person if he doesn't want to be. He's gonna ricochet right off.
बाजी, वो लड़ना पक्का था ना तो अब लड़ो. लुका छुपी नहीं है. लेंगे यार.
Look at those eyes. The two of them. I don't know. Part of that feels like it's illegal.
Comic. I love the tattoos he's got. Oh. Get your back cracked.
Some free chiropractic work. That does hurt. Where is that little man?
He's not happy that the crowd is cheering for him and not him.
You could snap him in half. To that fan. No.
No, you didn't get the crowd.
Poor
dude.
wrestler.
I think the timer
I
is
feel
going to
like
run.
this guy is
The
taking-
timer was, he was like whoever could last in the round in the ring for X
Is it
amount
a
of time.
timer?
Yeah, it was a timer.
That guy's not there for the timer. I thought this was a fun fair.
Yeah.
Not fun.
He's gonna let him fall out.
He did it?
Yeah, he fell out of the ring. He used a bit more smarts and so forth to make everything happen.
There you go.
All right.
You did it, bro. You did it. Cheer.
Where's she?
Where is she?
Yeah, where is she? So, what is she?
What is she thinking?
She's like, what's the matter?
You could get to know him. Little smile. Oh, she's mad. Did she figure it out? She can't figure it out.
Maybe, don't know.
Why is he mad?
आप एक एवरेज वर्किंग क्लास आदमी हैं जो हर दिन चश्मा लगाकर 4x4 के कमरे में कंप्यूटर के सामने बैठकर काम करता है।
She is being a little bit mean.
4 गुना आदमी से लड़ाई करने निकल पड़े।
Oh, he did.
क्या साबित करना चाहते थे आप? हाँ?
That I love you.
प्लीज टेल मी क्या जरूरत थी ये सब
Even though I
करने की?
said I never would.
नहीं है कि मैं खुश नहीं हूँ। अगर मुझे कुछ चाहिए होगा तो मैं खुद आपसे मांग लूंगी।
But that's the thing, you don't ask for anything.
Man, nothing is working out for this dude. Ugh,
But at the
I
same
can't
time,
take it anymore.
yeah, she almost
They
has
need
this
to
whole
solve
thing.
it.
This whole thing of I don't want to be loved. End of story. Because as she was saying, I don't think she wants to be loved by anybody.
Right? Oh. You weren't very nice to him. Please just find Raj's glasses or something. Is she gonna bring us lunch to work?
Okay, you two extraneous nerds, get out of there. Yeah,
Take a hint.
yeah, take a hint. You don't need to hover.
What's happening? Oh, she's angry cleaning.
Angry
I
cleaning.
recognize that.
You recognize
I
that?
do.
Angry cleaning?
Too many emotions. Gotta clean them out.
Wow, she is really angry cleaning.
When was the final dance competition? Is it over? It's not over, right?
No, I don't think so. Maybe his mustache will fall off in the rain.
Ooh, I like this idea. Oh, no wonder he likes this movie.
She gone. When did she leave? She just disapparated.
Oh.
She went to the dance competition.
परजाई आई हुई है गराज में राज को पूछ रही है
Storm into the shop and rip it all off. Mm-hmm. No time for wardrobe change.
Yeah. This also plays upon, a little bit upon you don't realize the love or what you have right in front of you when you have it.
Oh no, he did change.
हाँ जी
इतना खुश कैसे हो सकते हो?
Because he does it for you.
दर्द जी वो प्यार तो रब दी मेहरबानी है जी तो प्यार में कैसा दर्द अब देखो मुझे आप में रब दिखा तो मुझे आपसे प्यार हो गया आपको किसी और में रब दिखा आपको उससे प्यार हो गया
ये सिंपल नहीं है राज। मुझे किसी में रब नहीं दिखता। नहीं दिखता मुझे किसी मेरा।
Doesn't make him feel better. She doesn't love Raj either.
Again,
वो प्यार जिसका गला घोट चुकी थी मैं। अब मैं क्या करूं?
Comb your hair down. Put the glasses on.
भाग चलिए मेरे साथ।
Is he testing her? I feel like he's testing her.
I think he's trying to give her an avenue that she can feel love again. And he realizes that it may be a roundabout way of coming back to him.
When he was with his friend Bobby, he was all upset about the idea of her with Raj.
Yeah, but I think she's trying to resolve all this.
I'm loving that this isn't a perfect, clean thing. But in doing so, you'll enter your cute little yellow Hyundai and get all your clothes back at the house you actually share.
In a way, maybe he's thinking, if this is who I have to be for her, then, you know, maybe I need to change too.
नहीं सह जाता। मैं खुश होना चाहती हूँ, हंसना चाहती हूँ, जीना चाहती हूँ, प्यार करना चाहती हूँ।
They're gonna make this all better in the end, right? Yeah. See, I think he's crying because she's not in love with who he really is. Oh, what a mess.
और अपना ही the end हो गया पापी।
यार सूरी, मेरी समझ में एक बात नहीं आ रही। तू अब उसे सब सच सच क्यों नहीं बता देता?
Thank you.
उसी सूरी के दिल से प्यार हुआ, समझ में नहीं आती बात।
नहीं नहीं यार, अगर सिर्फ उसी दिल से प्यार हुआ होता।
Well, and she's fallen in love with a
Made up
impersonation.
सूरी के प्यार को पहचान जाती यार।
That's unreasonable.
यार,
You should listen to your friend.
यार मैंने फैसला कर
That's why
लिया।
we have friends. To talk to us when we're nuts.
ये कोठी मैंने उनके नाम कर दी है और ऑफिस में भी दिल्ली में ट्रांसफर की बात कर ली है।
That's not what she asked for.
कसम है वो।
I thought he swore to make them fall in love.
रब पर छोड़ दे यार।
Wow.
I can see where he's coming from, but
Yeah, it's putting.
I still think she might like you if you found a happy medium.
मुझे भी रब दिखा दीजिए।
She's never done that before, right?
Well, she was asking for his blessings. So, yeah, so.
Have you ever been in a dance competition?
Never been in a dance competition. Can't say that I don't like dancing, but my dancing is my
Not
dancing.
competitive.
मैं आपके साथ नहीं जा सकती राज।
Didn't see that coming.
वो थोड़ी बोरिंग है।
Exactly.
मामूली आम आदमी। पर मुझे उनमें रब दिखता है।
His heart just melted.
हाँ राज, मुझे उनमें रब दिखता है।
Well, at this point now he can't say he was ever Raj, right? I'll have to take this to the grave.
पर रब को कैसे छोड़ा जाता है? मैं जहाँ भी भाग कर जाऊंगी।
I don't know if she could forgive him for messing with her feelings.
I'm sorry.
But you can still
I'm sorry.
dance. Really expecting a top-notch dance number.
I'm sorry. मुझे माफ कर दो।
Dance with me.
Mr. Raj.
They're gonna come as
Sorry.
Sunni. We're all waiting.
आप हमें डिस्क्वालीफाई कर दीजिए.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, his fabric is so beautiful.
Best of luck.
Please do your signature move so she knows it's you. It's okay, Raj taught me everything.
Raj taught me everything. I love it. Music starts.
Okay, this is so well done.
Everything that she's remembering.
And I'm loving the interplay of her realizations.
Yeah, she's like, he's been doing all of this for me. Wow.
Right? Dazzling.
Yeah.
Woo!
Okay, I give it a 10 out of a 10. Yeah, they all agree. Yay.
First place. Love a good silhouette.
रब जी मुझसे नाराज तो नहीं होंगे ना कि मैं आपको उनसे ज्यादा प्यार करता हूँ.
नहीं.
नहीं जी.
नहीं.
फिर तो A1 जी.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. and Mrs. Sani. और याद रखिए
कुछ नहीं रब दिखता है यारा मैं क्या करूं मैं क्या करूं कुछ नहीं रब
Dancing husband and wife couple. He just needs a pocket protector and it'd be perfect.
ओ जी कहते हैं ना, all's well that ends well. बस जी, इसके बाद जापान में हनीमून.
All right. So what did you think?
I love that it was so much deeper than just a regular love story.
Right.
It was so cute. I mean, in the beginning, I was admiring the like bromance, him and his best friend.
Him and his best friend, yeah.
And it was so great that could be a relationship, that wasn't too like weird for guys to just like care about each other and really, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, he did. Well, they were both kind of a little bit odd male figures. I'm going to say it that way. You know, they're not your standard macho kind of thing. And so I found it funny that here was this kind of smart, high-techy kind of guy, average guy that was getting advice from someone who's a little bit, in another way, extreme or a stereotype, okay? And somehow or another, and there could be a whole story there.
Right?
You know, how they grew up together or whatever. There could be this own little growing up movie to see how those two came into being. But so it was interesting that in lots of ways, they both had these very distorted ideals of what they needed to do in order to have a relationship, have a wife, have a girlfriend, and all of that. And so it was very interesting to him bouncing things off of him. And I'm just like, oh no, this is all wrong. And even the fact that Suri at one point was looking at what she liked in the movies, and it's like, yeah, that's very stylized and hyper realized and so forth. And it was a really interesting question when they were in the changing room side by side, and he asked her, you know, more specifically, what are girls looking for?
Yeah.
You know, which she said that is a difficult question, and I think she answered it quite well in terms of what she thought, and because it was coming from where she was.
Shit, she was so broken.
Yeah.
Like, that was just so much that she was working through that the whole time. I mean, we don't have, I don't know, what was the timeline there? I don't know how long
Well,
it
yeah,
had been.
it
Like,
probably maybe under a year.
right?
Yeah, maybe a little longer. It's hard to say. There is no timeline to that. But it couldn't have been that long because
No, there was
they-
a dance competition. Those
well,
are like
but
a
there was
week?
the death. Well, but the wedding because there was
Oh,
the
okay.
death, and
From
then
when
he
they
was
found.
he was only gone 2 days.
Yeah.
2 days from his work.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and he comes back and he's married. So
Mhm.
I mean, it was very compressed. And again, just not a normal timeline at all for usually weddings that celebrating goes on for quite some time. Then,
Well, it's so interesting because, like, oftentimes in a regular romance, you have that show at the very beginning of it where everyone's just happy and it's all fun and games, but their regular relationship didn't get that because it was broken by tragedy.
Forced together.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, here, we're gonna just take these 2 broken glasses and put them together, and we're gonna pour water in it and hope it holds.
And so, I don't know, I feel like she did need the jazz and everything that Raj brought to the life. I don't know.
But I think it was, again, we don't really know this much about who her
previous
her
beloved.
love marriage husband was, and what attracted her and what enticed her about that, and what made her think that he was the one.
Mhm.
So that part was never really fleshed out. So, but at the same time, we also know that Suri was never what she was looking for.
No.
I mean,
Like, she mocked who he was when she met him.
yeah, exactly. And then at the same time, he also saw her as something entirely different that he would never
He
be
never
able,
had a
he would
chance.
never have a chance.
Yeah.
So I just really like that it was about, and I think the theme that really struck me was about allowing people to be their authentic selves, but at the same time also realizing that in order to really get to know somebody else, you really have to look past all of this projection of what we put out. And
Well-
he was putting out Raj at one point, but at the same time, then he's also putting out his being up to that point as Suri, the power guy who, what is it?
We light up your life.
We light up your life, and so it was all about finding that person that's behind everything that is the trappings of the outside. And I kept thinking at various times when constantly she was up close and looking at him, I'm like going,
She
you
must
are
know."
up close and really intense on Raj. You should be able to see.
Mhm.
I mean, and
But I mean, how much time did she ever spend up close to Suri
True.
like that?
Well,
I mean,
and-
they have a whole 8-foot table between them.
Right. Well, that's true. That's true. And maybe that's why she didn't see that, because it's kind of funny on these game shows. Sometimes they show, they'll put just the guy's eyes
Yes.
and
Can you
women,
recognize
and
them?
women, oh, that's my husband right there, and it's because people really get to know the
a very
intimate physical details of, the person that they love.
Yeah.
And so she had this is kind of how I took her. She was very broken. And I'm not slighting her at all about how she came into this. She got boxed in really quick, and she thought the only way that she could deal with that, I think, was to just shut down and say, I can't love. I can never have a normal life.
Well, that's despair. You do feel that, and those are the thoughts you have until you have someone to talk you out of it. Like, and Raj did. He helped her to remember that she could love again.
Yeah.
One of the words that really struck out was that word selfish.
Oh, yeah.
That came out because
Mhm.
for me, in a relationship, it is about being selfless and selfish.
Mhm.
Like,
You have to find
he
the
was
balancing.
giving, and she was talking about the way that he just gave and gave without expecting anything in return. That's pure selflessness.
Right. And she got upset at that because
Mhm.
she was like going, because we know that when someone's selfishly doing that, it's like you are radiating love and just super abundance and godliness and other things like that. And whether it was him or anybody else in her life, I don't think she would accept that. Even if it was someone that wasn't her husband or someone to be her husband or whatever, it didn't matter. And that's why I think Raj also at the same time was giving her so many selfishly things. He was giving her, making her happy, making her laugh
Mm-hmm.
and everything. And he wasn't really expecting anything in return. And even when he did the I love you, he said, I'm not looking for anything in return.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing is going to change. But for her, it suddenly was changing because she was realizing I'm being super selfish.
Because she had two men in her mind
Mm-hmm.
who were being extremely selfless.
Yes.
And they just gave her all without expecting anything. And that she was able to internalize that and recognize where she'd gone wrong.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
But she made
Yeah.
the right choice in the end, and I loved that dance scene. I loved how they interplayed the flashbacks
That
and
was really good.
how they showed that she was realizing what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the end, like I wasn't sure how she would feel. Ever since like that first idea when he said he was gonna do it this way, like how is she gonna be at the end of this?
Yeah.
Like she could be so mad and never forgive him,
And I think she probably was at a certain point.
right?
I mean, you go through. I mean, there's
Oh,
this whole,
those tears were falling in
Yeah, and-
overwhelm.
Yeah, and at times, even though ultimately you get to the place of happy, before you get to happy, you go through sadness and
Yeah.
and absolute, anger, and then you kind of get into a place of kind of complacency and saying, okay, I need to get in, and then suddenly you start going, okay, I should be more grateful for this, and then suddenly you're like going, you know what, this is a good thing, and I'm now happy, and you start moving on to all those other levels of feeling great, and but I'm sure at some point during that dance, she was like going, I hate him. He lied.
Exactly.
And that's why she called it lies. She let that out,
They
that
were.
part out, that anger out, that you lied to me, and yeah, it was a good lie, and I get it, and now I respect it and so forth. But yeah, it was.
Well, think of if she hadn't met Raj and they just lived their lives side by side, doing what they expected each one, like a husband and wife should do, and they went to movies, but they never ever connected.
Right.
Like, how sad would that have been? And so it's good they can connect these fictional characters
Yeah.
and that they can
Yeah.
grow from there.
Yeah, is one thing that I noticed is that there were not very many other inputs from other people, other characters in this story, other than it was basically
Bobby.
just three characters,
Yes.
characters, which I'm like, the more I think about that, that's some really interesting story line
Writing.
and writing, because you didn't have any parents, you
No.
didn't have any siblings,
No friends.
you had no friends other than
Bobby.
Okay, so and even the influences of his coworkers and then the dance people, they were very incidental to the.
It was a
thing.
three-man
And
show.
So it was a 3-man show, and I've got to say this is a pretty tough bit of writing to pull off and get all of those things said in there.
Yeah.
So wow, I'm really.
And it shows what the focus of the writing. They wanted to be that relationship was the focus. Because yes, they could have had best friends coming in with all their different opinions and parents coming in. But they killed off everybody. So there was no
grandparents, and don't get me started on the aunties and the uncles either, because they come in with all of their ideas and so forth. And
Right.
and I'm surprised now that I think about it. I'm
That it
surprised that this was not in there. So that's just a really interesting
That's a good
cultural
point.
stuff. Yeah. So we saw Golgotha. I'm going to say this wrong, I think.
Sorry.
Golgotha, which is the pani puri. Okay, that they were eating.
Oh, I wanna eat that.
We're gonna have to get some.
I'm gonna have to learn how to make it.
All right.
I
Well,
know.
okay.
I'll invite you.
All right. So, how many do you give it?
It was a solid 7.
That's good. 7.
It was fun.
Okay. All right. Good. I'm gonna give it an 8. Because I was starting off at a 7, but as I went through this whole thing about the writing with basically 3 characters,
That's true.
I suddenly am like going, wait a
7.5.
second here. This has got really impressive for me. I want to give an extra pani puri
Right.
for that.
For me, the chemistry wasn't there for me with the 2 characters for a long time until the very end.
Yeah.
And I wanted that connection so bad the whole movie, but it made it more special in the end, I suppose. But
All right.
Anyway.
All right. Well, By all means, thank you so much. We appreciate you guys recommending this and so glad that we watched it. And again, this was a member pick. And if you haven't picked before, be sure and go to our Patreon page and get on the polls there. And if you actually want to do more than just vote for a movie for us to watch, you can actually become an executive producer and you can actually request a very specific movie, you as an individual. So check out Patreon for that. And again, the polls, watch-alongs, and other great stuff like that. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing, sharing, and like button.